Man, I'm telling you, it's rough out there on a brother that's trying to get to the truth. It's rough out there when you realize how many toxic substances just sneak up on us on an everyday basis. I mean, when you realize that 75% of all the antibiotics in the world go to the animals, the farm animals that we're raising, and we shouldn't even call them farm animals anymore. We need to call them warehouse animals. And then we eat the antibiotics and it destroys our gut bacteria. And that's just one thing, antibiotics. We're dealing with hundreds and thousands of things. But on a positive note, I'd like to wish everybody peace, power, prosperity, and most of all, love to you and your families. Regardless of what we're up against, let's keep the energy positive, because when we uncover a problem, there's a solution somewhere to be found. And so I bring up toxins because it's really the biggest health risk to all of us is toxic exposure, toxic absorption through the skin, through the lungs, through the mouth and GI tract. And really, those of us who are sitting around eating the standard American diet that have a backed up sanitation or sewage department. And remember the last video, I have put that, you know, we should look at the body as a citadel, as a city. And so that started off the chemistry, human physiology 101. So I gave a quick primer on that. So we know that really we're under attack from chemtrails, from, I mean, these companies with these glyphosates, which is Roundup, and the herbicides and the pesticides and the pesticide and the crap from the BPAs. From listen, you can get a BPA, bisphenol A, which is a estrogen mimicker, a toxin, and likely a carcinogen, just from touching the freaking receipts that are printed out at the store. So now that I know that, I say, don't give me any freaking receipt. No, I don't want the receipt. I didn't want to touch the damn thing. Just throw it away. Because in this digital world, you don't really need a physical receipt. There's no need for it. I mean, everything's digital for the most part. You're paying for it with a credit card or now Apple Pay, which I like. You don't need a receipt. It shows up on your bank account almost immediately. It shows up on your credit card now you just go to the credit card website and there it is. You can get apps for your phone that show immediately, you know, what the transaction was. So I don't really think that we need receipts. I think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of paper. And of course, there are hidden chemicals on that. When we look at what's in just cans and canned foods, when you find out that there's no more tin. See, back in the 20s and 30s and 40s and maybe the 50s, there were tin cans, and it was probably safer to have things in tin because the metal alloys in tin are not aluminum. Now we have some sort of alloy cans that are primarily aluminum that we are then put the food in. It has a lining of bisphenol A and other petroleum products that line the can itself. And then the food is actually cooked inside of the can. So a lot of times the food is not cooked and then placed in the can. It's actually placed in the can, sealed, and then cooked. And of course, under heat, now this stuff is really starting to move into the food. So that's why I say I don't get canned food. Don't try and try not to buy your food stuffs in plastics because it's toxic. And I'm really getting tired of these herbal companies, and some of my favorite herbal companies, putting their herbs in plastic bags and selling it to us. There's got to be a better way. Anyway, if you do get herbs in a plastic bag, take them out of a plastic bag immediately and put it into a glass container. That's the most inert. Now, to get to the meat of the video today, because we all know that we're under a toxic assault. There's a chemical Armageddon going on against most of the human race, and it's killing us one by one. Now, actually killing us by the thousands, or by the millions. It's a chemical Armageddon, and then we have a thing called the doctors who prescribe more chemicals. And so now we take 7, 8, 9, 10 medicines. I have patients coming into the hospital. Literally, I don't know, I think I had the record set this sometime in the last 12 months where a person came in with 23. Now, a few were vitamin supplements, but those vitamin supplements were toxic. Remember, I tell you about vitamin isolates, that they typically are derived from synthetic sources. They're typically made by huge, actually the pharmaceutical companies themselves make a lot of these multivitamins and these vitamin isolates, and they're just simply no good for you because the body does not work with vitamin isolates. It works with the vitamins as part of a whole food, as part of a whole food complex. Now, if you want to really get fancy with getting vitamins and minerals in a concentrated form, and then you go out and get some of the superfoods I talked about in the other videos. And there's a question and answer video that I'm doing. It has about maybe 15 of the most common questions that I'm getting from my patients and from the YouTube community. And I will attempt to answer those. There were things like, what is colloidal silver? How come I'm so down on dairy? Is there any type of meat that's good for you? There were what are the other questions? What is really the pathophysiology of cancer? Someone was very interested in that likely suffering from cancer. It asked what if I could condense staying healthy into just two things. What two things would I pay attention to? So those are coming on the subsequent video once I get some coherent answers down. But really, I could answer all the questions right now, but I want to keep this video fairly short. So, you know, sometimes we go and for me, I'm Taurus. Once I grab a hold of something, especially something that I consider important, I don't let it go until I get deep, deep, deep down into the rabbit hole and really see what the hell is really going on. And the thing that really has caught my attention as of late is another hidden source of toxin, your cookware. Now, I think most of us know about PFOAs and the issues with these Teflon coated non-stick pans that they have to go, and Jesus Christ, not only is the coating, the non-stick coating toxic, but sitting underneath the coating, once that wears off and scrapes off, there's aluminum. So that leaches into the food, and so that's it's a double-edged sword. But I think most people who are coming to this channel likely realize that already, that we do not deal with non-stick cookware, at least not the traditional non-stick cookware. So that brings me up to what I decided years ago, probably 8 years ago, that getting high quality stainless steel cookware was likely the best. And I had tried some of the stone coated cookware, you know, some of the ceramic coated cookware, and all those things chip and break off and end up with exposing what? Aluminum underneath. Because for some reason, everybody thinks they should put aluminum underneath. Even your best and most expensive, like All Clad is a brand. It makes layers in its pots and pans and cookware where you'll have stainless steel on the outside, aluminum on the inside, and then stainless steel on the outside. So we call that 3-ply. And then they get fancy and put 7-ply and all this other kind of stuff. But we're now finding out, like, there's certain, remember, steel is not one metal. Stainless steel is not one metal. It is a metal alloy. It's got chromium, molybdenum, iron, and so forth and so on, and an alloy. It's one hell of an alloy too, by the way. And there's different qualities of steel. There's different grades of steel, and you start to see things like on this more expensive cookware, 1810. That's an 18-10 grade stainless steel cookware. Well, it really doesn't tell me much, because I have to know now, this the stainless steel cookware that I'm cooking with that has either an aluminum core, and then you get the super expensive cookware that has a copper core to it. No, we do not want to buy copper cookware that is 100% copper on the inside, because the copper will leach into your food. Iron, like my favorite iron cookware is a company called Lodge, L-O-D-G-E. And typically if I'm going camping, that's what I'm going camping with, because that stuff is indestructible. However, that stuff leaches iron into your foods. There was a lady on YouTube who was doing some very interesting tests where she would take baking soda and water and put it in all the different types of pots and pans, bring the solution in these different pots and pans up to boiling, let it boil for a while, turn it off, and then pour the liquid off and examine it. And you could literally see with each type of cookware which ones were just giving off all kinds of toxic crap, changing the color of the water, and as we started to get to iron, the water was getting clearer, but you could still see the yellowing of the water from the iron. And that's inorganic iron, by the way. So the body really can't use inorganic iron. And for men, iron overload is not good to begin with, because we already have a lot of iron in our system, because we don't have periods. We don't get rid of blood on a consistent basis. I remember somebody said that you'd probably be healthy if you gave blood once a month or a couple of times a year. And that may be true. There may be something true to getting rid of that iron load and then reloading again with your foods and your supplements, especially your superfood supplements and your herbs, as well as your raw foods. So, you know, I saw that video, and then I started looking at, okay, well, which of these things were not giving off, you know, all the crap, all the toxic stuff. Well, the worst offender, of course, was the you know, the Teflon coated nonstick stuff. And then we moved into stainless steel, and I said, well, here we go now. Stainless steel's got it all in one. We go to stainless steels, you know, that's where my research has led me. That's what I cook with every day when I do cook. The good news is I don't cook that often. But, you know, even making herbal teas, you have to use a pot and a pan. So she did a experiment with one of the major stainless steel cookware companies, one that I actually use, or have some of their cookware, and the results were just astounding how much toxic crap was coming off. good stainless steel cookware. So yeah, good stainless steel cookware can leach into your food. Now, this is depressing, but it's good that we understand this, because again, it's another hidden source of toxin that we have to deal with. Cookware can kill you. And some people are, running around, just living the life on the straight and narrow, and unaware that every time they make a meal, cook food, the toxins are leaching in from the food, and from stainless steel. However, there is some hope at the end of the tunnel, because there are now companies that have known about this stuff since the 50s that started making cookware with surgical grade stainless steel. And surgical grade stainless steel is used in most of your waterless cooking solutions. So do go look. This is where my research took me. One night I started at 12 midnight and 5 o'clock I'm still up, and it's like, man, you got to go to sleep, but I had to get some finality to it. And then I came back the next night, and this was like a 3 to 4 night project for me. Just digging deep into cookware and the toxicity in the cookware. So surgical stainless steel is rated. There are 2 types that I would only use now that I know better. And that's T304. Again, T, and I think the T may stand for titanium, so they may add a little bits of titanium to the steel alloy. But T304, surgical stainless steel, and yes, they make cookware with this. And now the prices have come way down, since now the Chinese manufacturers are manufacturing. However, with that said, sometimes you can't trust the Chinese manufacturers to do an accurate job. That's why you have that little baking soda test. And before I post the video, hopefully I'll be able to find that video. And but how you do it is, if you find some cookware you like, buy one small item of it. Don't buy the whole damn set. Take it home, rinse it, wash it, put the baking soda and the water in there. This one you can use the Arm & Hammer, because it doesn't matter if it has heavy metals or not. Remember, I recommend Bob's Red Mill baking soda if you use baking soda, because it tends to be free of heavy metals, or at least much less heavy metals in it than some of these big companies like Arm & Hammer. Nothing against Arm & Hammer. Hey, Arm & Hammer, take the freaking heavy metals out of your product, and I'll be happy to recommend it. So, and then see, when you pour it off, when you do the test, what comes out. I guess the baking soda is pulling out some of this stuff that's easily coming off from the surface. I don't think it's corrosive in any way, but I just think it has a tendency to just pull out what's there, and then make it visible to you, because you're then pouring it out in the water. There's probably other ways of testing it too that are just as visual, but I think this lady's test was very, very good, and she would pour it in a glass jar so you could really see what's going on in there. And when she did the test with the T304 surgical stainless steel cookware, almost nothing, almost very clear. And then there's even a higher grade that's come out now, but to buy it, most companies don't use it, and then to buy it is like in the thousands of dollars for like, a 17 piece. And when they say 17 pieces, they include the lid as a piece, so it's not really 17 pieces. But we've all shopped for this type of stuff before. So, and then my recommendation is, don't buy a whole set. Buy exactly what you need, if at all possible. sometimes it's not at all possible. Sometimes it's more economical to buy a whole set. And so there were a couple of companies, Salad Master, extremely expensive. Vapo, I think it's Vaporware, Cookware. Actually, I ordered some of that, so I'm waiting for that to come. I'll let you know my experience with that. Pure Life, Cookware. There were, I don't know, man, 8, 9, 10 big players in this field. And what was another one? Max something another. You can get to see that on Amazon. Just do a thing for waterless cookware. So it seems like the waterless cookware has the highest grades of surgical steel in it. And I think that's because it has to be a great conductor of heat to cook waterless. Now, am I recommend that you do waterless cookware because of the beauty of waterless cooking? No. But I think it would be something good to be aware of. So go look at some of the videos on YouTube about waterless cookware. But you can use waterless cookware just like you use any other cookware. I'm looking at the cookware from the point of view as, I don't care if it's waterless cookware or not, what is leaching the least amount of toxins, or preferably no toxins. So the next one is the 316 T, or they can call it T316. That's a even higher grade. The difference between the two is minuscule. I think they use more molybdenum. Yeah, molybdenum. Excuse me for not being able to say that damn word. I never could get it right in school. It's a metal. It's molybdenum. So it's got more of that, and supposedly that stabilizes the steel alloy better and causes less leaching. This has less nickel in it. Nickel's notorious for leaching toxins into your food. So if you want the best, you'll go after the 316 grade surgical stainless steel cookware, and that will virtually leach no toxins. The T304 will virtually, in the comparison, it's almost nil. I mean, for the price difference, I'll probably stick with the T04. I have some 316 cookware that I got off of eBay just to try it out, and it's I don't see that much of a difference between that and the 304. But what I did like about the cookware is that, man, you can get away with cooking things and heating things up at much lower temperature. So if you wanted to stir fry some vegetables, not in oil, not in vegetable oil, and see, with waterless cookware, you can add just a little bit of butter, or a little bit of ghee, or a little bit of lard, or nothing at all, and your vegetables cook up nicely. Or you can add a little bit of spring water and just have it in there, and it will steam up and cook your vegetables without leaching, without taking a whole lot of the nutrients away, which is why we want to eat raw in the first place. So you can't eat, again, I'm not against cooked food, but you don't want to be a butcher of your foods, especially your vegetables, and butcher them so much and cook them up so much that you've cooked all the life out of them. You've boiled all the life away. So, this waterless cookware that's been around for quite a while really is probably the way to go, both the method of cooking and the quality of stainless steel that's used. But you have to do your research into the companies. I mean, some of these things can cost as cheap as $2.99 for a set. That's the Vaporware, by the way, VAPO-WARE. So I'm waiting for that. All the way up to, I've seen some go as high as 3,500, and some as high as 5,000. Salad Master, you can't even buy online. You have to go to a dinner party, so they're out, but they have the highest quality, 316 T. I think they call it 316 Ti surgical stainless steel. So yeah, if you could get some Salad Master stuff at a decent price, I would say definitely go for it. It's definitely well-made cookware. Is it worth $3,500 for a 17-piece set? Hell no. All right? Hell no. It's not worth it. But if money's no object, go show up to a dinner party, buy up the whole damn set, and be about it. By the way, if you do buy up the whole set, you'll probably never have to buy cookware again, and most of these companies come with a lifetime warranty. But this is the beauty of research. You know, who knew about these different grades of steel that you have to get to, and that the steel itself could be toxic and leach. I have a teapot right now. I'm going to have to can it. That means throw it away in lieu of something that's less toxic. So what's another alternative? There's one other alternative. When this lady was doing the test, that was very impressive to me. And that was 100% ceramic cookware. Not ceramic coated cookware. 100% ceramic cookware. And that was made by a company called Ceramcor. C-E-R-A-M-C-O-R. Is that cookware cheap? No. Is it going to cost you $3,500? No, they're actually reasonably priced for what they give you. But that had no leaching at all. So Ceramcor, you want to get their Extrema, X-T-R-E-M-A cookware. Dr. Mercola, M-E-R-C-O-L-A. So Dr. Mercola, most of you may have heard of Dr. Mercola. He's become quite famous on the internet. And he has a lot of stuff for you to buy, so I'm always concerned about that. But would I draft him on my All-Star Health team? Yeah, because he has so much information on that website. The problem is there is so much information on the website, and if you don't know specifically what you're looking for on his website, that's mercola.com. You'll get lost, and there's a lot of bullcrap on the website, and there's a lot of good stuff on the website, and so you have to know how to sift through it. And so that's typically my job, is to do the sifting for you and then tell you, you know, what I've come up with once I do my research. But for those of you who, you know, like to do hands-on research, which I highly advise most of you do, you can use Mercola as an information source. And so I'll draft him onto the health team mainly just because of the volumes of work. Now, the reason why I also brought him up is because he has his own line of cookware, Mercola ceramic cookware, and he himself did the same research I did and found that probably for the price and performance, ceramic cookware is the least toxic. Again, if you can afford the T304 or the 316 Ti surgical stainless steel, that's going to be right up there. So those are your two choices. But he gets his ceramic cookware, he don't make it himself. He gets it from Ceramcor. So when I was looking around for some pieces, Ceramcor was sold out of some pieces. Dr. Mercola had them, and so I bought it from his website. And that's when I started looking around his website and saying, it's got quite a good things there. He makes a lot of videos too on YouTube, so it's always good to have another source. And like I said, there's some of the stuff I've heard from him that was completely like, Jesus Christ, where are you coming from? And then there's some very good stuff that he's coming up with. And he's interviewed some extremely powerful heavy hitters that are political advocates in the health industry, especially in the natural health industry, and that are extremely knowledgeable people in the natural health movement. So use them as a resource. I'm just one resource, right? But you probably never see other people promoting other doctors, other naturopaths, other raw foodists, other nutritionists, other people who teach, because they want the attention to themselves. I don't care about the attention to myself. The attention will come to me just through natural law and the quality of work that I produce. So I'm not worried about the attention. I'm worried about you people out there. I'm worried about my own family. I'm worried about the people that are coming down with all kinds of freaking neurological diseases, Lou Gehrig's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, kidney disease now is just at an all-time high. I'm worried about you guys getting toxins in your system, and worried about myself too, getting these crazy toxins in our systems that we don't know. I mean, who knew that the freaking cookware, you know, it had to be distilled down to only two types of cookware: fully ceramic by Ceramcore, or surgical stainless steel cookware. That's it. Everything else you can throw away. I don't want to hear about all the stuff about diamond coated and ceramic coated. And I've been there and done that. No good. No good. So I have to get a teapot now to replace my stainless steel teapot. That's a low quality steel teapot that I've been boiling water for and then you know, distilled water on top of that. When you put distilled water in these cheaper metals, it's because what distilled water is more aggressive, because it's not filled with it. It has no minerals itself, so it's always, it has no minerals in it itself, so it's always looking to pull things. That's why you can drink it sometimes if you want to kind of get things kind of pulled out of your body, but I don't recommend drinking the distilled water. But for making the tea, so I'm boiling my water in cheap steel, likely nickel and all kinds of crap, but likely this stuff is made in China. It's stuff that you don't think about, and bam, you're getting hit with it. You know, and sometimes people they reach a wall, they run into a wall, and they're like, you know, I need to get healthy. I still got things wrong with me, but I see I'm getting better. I'm following, you know, a lot of Dr. Z's recommendation, a lot of recommendation from his All-Star Health team, and from other people that you know that you get information from. And is anybody else out there of who you think should be on the health team that you want me to vet? I'm looking at Gabriel Cousins still, but it's still, you know, he's got a lot of work out there too, so likely he'll be drafted too. But I mean, there's very few people who are going to tell you about the freaking cookware. And a lot of the research that I did on video or not on video, on the internet, not on the internet, talking to people, reading article after article after article, they were all incomplete. It's like, you know, the system is really set up, or they were trying to sell you something. And the system is just, you know, replete with incomplete information, or shystery information, or complete outright lies. And this is, you know, it's very, very disheartening. But again, with knowledge, armed with knowledge that we can transform into wisdom, now you do your own research about cookware, the toxicity of cookware, and you make sure that you take a good hard look at the Ceramcore cookware. My one complaint about the Ceramcore cookware, because of the ceramic, if you drop it or if you handle it roughly, it can chip. Remember, it's ceramic. It's a very tough ceramic, so it's not like it's going to just break on the normal use. You have to do something stupid with it. And I'm not sure, and I just ordered some from Ceramcore and some from Dr. McCullough, so I'm waiting on that to come in, and I'll give you my my product review. I'll maybe even bring some of the cookware in. I'm going to start also bringing some of my herbs in, so you can look at the herbs, look at the names. I'm going to write down one of the questions. What can I write down all the names of the sea vegetables on so that you guys can see it. And I typically should do that underneath the video where I can put information. But I'm going to actually take my little whiteboard and write out the names and hold it up to you so you can see the names of the sea vegetables. That was one of the questions that was asked. So I'll be doing that on the next video. But yeah, man, hidden sources of toxins. Go look at the video, and that is even incomplete because there are just more and more and more hidden sources of toxins that are like, Jesus Christ, man, when's it going to stop? When are people going to start thinking in terms of health? We're going to start thinking about manufacturing in terms of health. We're going to start putting out products that do not leach, chemicals, plasticides, herbicides. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous. And then I told you the other day that just because something is organic don't mean it's healthy. An organic farmer who's planting his strawberries, or who's planting his grapes, or who's planting his other green leafy vegetables, spinach, whatever it be, if he's planting this in soil that's depleted of minerals, and it goes to market as organic, just like everything else, but we don't know what the mineral content is, and typically the mineral content is sorely lacking. This is why we have to supplement. This is why we have to use superfoods. We don't need processed supplements. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, we have like companies like Youngevity, who Dr. Wallach, who I was going to draft onto the team, but this guy's, he's got a lot of knowledge and he's done a lot of things. But you know, this Youngevity product that's now a publicly traded company, I've tried the products. I just not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of things in plastic. I'm not a fan of things that are far away from the food source that they supposedly come from. I'm just not a fan of it. But Wallach has some interesting takes. Dr. Glidden, who's a disciple of Dr. Wallach, a naturopath, so you can check out Dr. Glidden. Actually, he had some very good things to say about how toxic a lot of these vegetable oils are. That's what I learned from Dr. Glidden. The vegetable oils, is pretty much all of them are rancid sitting on the shelves. The ones that don't get rancid are the ones that are hydrogenated, so they form trans fatty acids. They all form trans fatty acids. So, you know, sometimes getting healthy is about what you don't do, as well as what you do. And so I'll make a video about things, and maybe like 10 things we should stop doing immediately. And one of the first ones on the list would be stop eating rancid vegetable oils. It's a killer. Stop cooking with rancid vegetable oils. Do not cook with your olive oil. Now, I want to do a little test with some olive oil on one of these waterless cooking things, because you don't need a whole lot of oil in it to begin with, and it's cooked on very low temperatures. In other words, you just got to check out the waterless cooking system, and by the next time I make I'll give it a couple of weeks for me to really get familiar with that system, to get familiar with the ceramic cookware that I've ordered. But you know, it's sad that here I am, you know, an MD, a naturopath, a detox specialist. I just got through with the David Wolf course that Lars Gustafsson has on his site, bodymindinstitute.com. I'm thinking about going with the herbal certification course. Not that I'm not interested in certification. I wasn't interested in the raw food nutrition certification either. It's not the certification I'm interested in, folks. At this stage of my life, I'm interested in the knowledge. So I could really give a hoot about a piece of paper that says, oh, you did this and you did that. No, that's young man's game. That's people who are starting out to need pieces of paper. I got all the pieces of paper I need. No, I need the knowledge. And so I may vet this this herbal course, and see if there's something for me to learn. I'm sure there is something for me to learn. And then I'll teach it to you guys, because I'm going to do a beef herbal class anyway. I'll probably do 2 videos on herbs and superfoods. And this time I'll put them in the conceptual framework so it's very easy to understand. But again, go out and get the surgical steel, the T304 or the 316 Ti. The 316 Ti is going to cost you out the butt. So there's a lot of cookware now that has the T304 surgical steel. So you get that, or you can go with the ceramic cookware. I'm going with both because I'm going to check them both out, and each one of them probably has its strengths and its weaknesses as far as the actual cooking experience. And again, remember, I don't do a lot of cooking anyway. I don't cook food every single day. So, you know, I can go 2 weeks and don't have to wash dishes. They're building up little by little, but eating a lot of raw foods and smoothies and things like that, man, these things rinse out usually. I mean, a lot of times you don't even need soap. You just rinse, wash, dry, and it's back up in the shelf. So typically most of what I have to, what builds up in my kitchen sink are the glassware from all the smoothies and green drinks. So those you do have to clean. And it takes some effort to clean some of that glassware. But so yeah, I don't do a lot of cooking anywhere, but when I do cooking, I want to be aware that this stuff leaches, and then it brings me to, like, you know, going out and eating at restaurants. I mean, I doubt the restaurants are cooking in T304 stainless steel cookware. Some of them probably are, but a lot of them not. I think your better restaurants are cooking in high quality steel cookware, and they're aware of the different types, but who the hell knows? I mean, you know, are they using ceramic cookware? Probably not. And who even knows if they're aware of it? That's toxic. I mean, you know, and forget about the fast food places, man, and what the hell they're cooking, and the vegetable fat that they're cooking. I mean, over and over and over again, how rancid is that stuff? So be aware that we don't want to cook too often. Again, you know, it's almost impossible to make tea without heating it, the tea up. So we need cookware. You probably, to me, the less cooking you do, the better off you're going to be. And when you do cook with the surgical steel and cook with the ceramic cookware. Those are the two that I've come up with. It's taken 3 days of sleepless nights. So now you're seeing me not having gone to bed. I mean, I went to bed at the time I normally would go to bed, but I'm up studying. The girlfriend's texting me, and then I don't text her back because, man, once I get on a roll, man, I'm on a roll. I mean, unless it's an emergency, I either hospital call me because somebody, is about to die or is acting out or something on one of those units in the hospital. I just ignore it all. So, sorry about that, but it's just the way it goes. When doctors, he gets busy. Anyway, guys, quick video on, well, not so quick anymore, but as quick as I could do it on the surgical steel, the ceramic cookware. I'll bring some more names of companies that I think are making good stainless steel cookware, and it's not likely companies you've heard of before. And I'll see if I can suss out some stuff that's reasonably priced. This vaporware stuff is reasonably priced, but it's made in China, and again, anything that's made in China I get a little nervous about, especially when it comes to steel and steel alloys and them being truthful in terms of what the metals that they're using and the companies that are using them, how they're vetting and really testing that what they're buying from these Chinese manufacturers is exactly what they think they're getting. So, but again, these prices are so wild. The ceramic cookware is probably a safer bet for most of you, because there's really only one company that you really have to look at, and that's Ceramcore. I am not a representative of Ceramcore. I didn't even know the freaking company existed until this week. I had nothing to do about the Extrema cookware. I have nothing, a dog in the fight with Dr. Mercola, who's selling some of their cookware under his own name, but it's made by Ceramcore. So With that, peace, power, prosperity, and most of all, love to you and your families. And I will catch you on the next exciting episode of Dr. Z's Health Discussions. And the one after this should be the questions, and I'll just limit it to the most common 10 questions. I got a pile of them, but I'll just limit it to general questions, not specific questions. I'm not going to be answering how do you treat, degenerative neurological diseases, because that's a video in itself, maybe a series of videos. How do you treat cancer? I'm not going to go into how you treat cancer. I've done some videos on that, but I've given you all the stuff on how to treat cancer. So those types of questions coming in. Now, if someone has some unusual stuff that's going on within themselves, do let me know. Like the guy who was having the freaking nosebleeds and nobody knew why, and that was the liver. And so he had to do detoxification, and he's going to have to do liver flush. By the way, this weekend, today is Friday, so starting tomorrow, Saturday at 6 p.m., I will. I've been preparing all week for the second liver flush, and I'll let you know how the second liver flush turns out. I'm pretty excited about that because the first one went wonderfully, and again that was Andreas Moritz, M-O-R-I-T-Z, who's no longer with us, but still every bit is active on the health team. How could he be dead and still active on the health team? Think about that. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Love everybody. It's a labor of love, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the feedback that I'm getting and response, and actually being able to help my patients, my family, and just anyone who is part of that YouTube community. I'm right now, again, just still focused on the YouTube stuff. I'm not writing articles on the website. Matter of fact, I've just pretty much left the website just. I don't even know if it's a WordPress website, whether or not it's been updated or not. I got to go to the back end and start looking at it. But say I like to do things hands-on, and I'm very technical as well. But we'll see you later. Until next time, bye-bye.